be a busy one for the Red Devils. It's understood United have agreed a deal upwards of £29 million for Lecce fullback Patrick Dorgu. So what should United fans expect from the Dane? Here's our European football expert, Kevin Hatchard.
During my career, managers spoke about every player. They was asked a question, if that player wasn't doing it, they would say it. And the way life was then, it was up to you as a player how you dealt with that criticism. And someone would come up and say, I can handle criticism.
Because he said that in the Players' Tribe Room interview, didn't he?
Yeah.
I can deal with it.
Yeah, no, well, to be honest, it takes a hell of a to deal with it. And the only way you can deal with it is by actions, not by words. 100%. And you have to go and prove a point. He hasn't proved a point yet. And then on the other side of him coming back into the dressing room, I remember an incident with a player while I was at Manchester United, and he got told by Brian Robson what to do with his problem. And obviously a few other words were said, but he virtually told him, your problem is not in here, your problem is upstairs. So if you can't deal with it upstairs, do not bring it down here. So he should be, if he's there, he should train with the players. Nothing wrong with it, unless he's doing something. But until such time he understands that football is not an individual sport, then he's going to have a problem.
Do you think it's odd that he's still training with them? Because if Ruben Amorim's saying his attitude's this bad that you're not getting him a matchday squad, you're not part of what I'm trying to do here. I'm not liking your attitude. Do you worry, or do you have any issue with the fact that he's still allowed to be in first-team training and what sort of impact that's having on the rest of the
He's still
squad?
giving him a chance. He's offering him the opportunity, because it's quite easy, as before, what managers would do. They're afraid of reserves, or they say, go and train with the youth team. But he's saying, you can show me that you're still with them. I'll keep you with the lads until such time you're not going to be with them. Because at the end of the day, do you want that infection to go down to the ones who are still chasing that opportunity to be with those good pros? The answer to that one, you know yourself. You don't. So it might come to the point of saying, stay away from Carrington.
If he stays, should that happen?
If he ain't going to change his ways, you're not going to have to send him away. Is it going to affect his pricing? Yeah, it will affect it. Slightly, because the damage has been done already. Everyone around the world knows it. Now, if you're Barcelona, if you're AC Milan, all being talked about, as a fan, would you want your football club to bring in a player who hasn't respected his club, his local team, the club he's been with since he was a kid? Would you want that player in your football club? And I think as a fan, you don't really want it that way, Fleck.
Strong views as ever from former Manchester United double-winning defender Paul Parker. He joined myself, Flex and Angelina Kelly on this week's episode of the Inside Devils podcast, available on your YouTube streams and on Spotify or wherever else you get your podcast every Tuesday afternoon. He was basically saying there, Leanne, Paul, that Marcus Rashford, if he does stay beyond 11 o'clock on Monday, as he's looking more and more likely, then he should be banished from first-team training and from the dressing room. Strong opinions. What's your view on it?
I mean, I think that's the reality of the situation. I think you look at the Jadon Sancho under Erik ten Hag. There was moments where he was training out in the Netherlands and he looked like Erik ten Hag was trying to help him out. I think it's a difficult one with Rashford because I think it splits people's opinions, doesn't it? Because everyone's talking about, oh, there's a player in there. Some people would have also selected him for England, and I was thinking, what? Under what standards? So I agree with what Paul Parker's saying. It's difficult because you look at the wages, but that's Manchester United. They are the ones that have made these decisions to pay these mediocre players that don't deserve that much money. And look at someone like Bruno, who's getting paid way less than someone like Marcus Rashford. You'd be fuming if you were Bruno Fernandes. It gives everything. Been at the club for 5 years. So, I mean, there's no way back for Marcus Rashford at Manchester United. There's no denying that. And I think for someone like Ruben Amorim, I think he's handled the situation in an admirable way. He's been asked about, and this will continue, won't it? It's not going away.
Absolutely. One of the stumbling blocks, and we reported this on the TalkSport website this afternoon, is that Marcus Rashford's advisors have told those clubs who may be interested that under no circumstances, as we understand it, is he willing to take a pay cut. Should he do that in terms of, reducing his demands to ensure that he goes out and plays some football in the second half of the season?
I think if you're asking this question 10 years ago, yes. I think in modern day football, no. Just look at John Duran. He's gone over to Saudi Arabia. No one expected that to be the case. And you're looking at the amount of money that they have in football. I mean, Marcus Rashford, he's got 2 or 3 years left on his contract.
2028, I think.
So, therefore it's like the amount of money he's going to make, and he'll be nowhere near the team. So it's a difficult situation. I hate the fact that constantly Manchester United fans are being asked about it, talking about it, because it is a topic of conversation, but I think ultimately it comes down to really bad decision making from the club.
Well, we brought you stacks of live European football this midweek, and the live football continues across the weekend, as you'd expect, on the TalkSport network. Tomorrow night, Blackburn against Preston, a Lancashire derby from the Championship, live and exclusive here on TalkSport 2. That gets underway at 8 o'clock on Saturday at 12:30. We're at Nottingham Forest against Brighton, live commentary from the City Ground. That's on TalkSport. At the same time here on TalkSport 2, it's Plymouth against West Brom from the Championship at 3 o'clock on TalkSport 2. Newcastle Fulham live and exclusive from the Premier League. And then on Monday night, game night returns live on TalkSport. It's Chelsea against West Ham in a London derby.
We're yet to see somebody pick up the ball and take a player on. I know Malacia's game isn't doing that, but the space is out wide on the left-hand side, and they're not capitalising on that. Apart from one opportunity, where, to be fair to Malacia, he put a really good ball into the box, but they're not getting bodies into the box, and I think their movement is quite static, because when the players are looking up, like when Eriksen's looking up, they're already standing in there. When they're standing in there, going player like side by side against the centre-back. So then where's the space? So I think an impact substitution looks like it could be happening now, to be fair.
Yeah, we'll get news of that change in a moment. I was just going to ask you if FCSB might be a bit more anxious to get the ball forward in this second half, knowing that if Bodo Glimt were to take the lead against Nice over in France, that would drop them out of the top 8. It's 0-0 at this moment in time. And also knowing Ajax against Galatasaray, 1-0 to Ajax in that game. If that was to change, then again, Galatasaray could be in a position to knock FCSB out of the top 8. And as I mentioned towards the end of the first half, I think the more anxious FCSB get for a goal, that might just leave gaps in behind for United to exploit.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm always intrigued by the manager's team talk, because when you're playing in these types of games where there's permutations, you can't really hear all that type of noise. We've seen in football stadiums sometimes when teams start cheering, when it's the last game of the season, because they hear whispers around another team scoring. I think for FCSB, they just need to take care of what's in front of them.
Amad Diallo is on for the second half. Toby Collier is the player sacrificed, which feels in some ways a little bit harsh, but Kobbie Mainoo now will drop back into the more deep-lying midfield role. Amad will go into one of the number 10 positions. That's not the only Manchester United alteration. Alejandro Garnacho is on as well, and he has replaced Tyrell Malacia. So we're going to see Garnacho seemingly as left wing back, or could Amad go there and Garnacho plays in the number 10? We'll try and work that out in the next few moments, but certainly a double change from Ruben Amorim at half time, and two players who can come on and certainly inject that much needed pace as we get back underway in the second half.
Yeah, I like that from Ruben Amorim, and I think sometimes we saw early on in the season when he put Casemiro and Eriksen together, he does things that I think that not the managers do think the fans want, but everybody could see they could never play together again. They had no legs in the midfield, and they never have played together again. So I think these types of substitutions is what this game is crying out for. I thought Malacia was really poor in that first half. To be fair to Collier, I don't think he had a bad game, but I think this substitution was always on the cards.
A change for FCSB at half time as well. Baba Al Hassan has come on, replacing Malcolm Ejuma in midfield. Al Hassan is a Ghanaian midfielder, so he is on for the second half. I'll run you through the Manchester United revised lineup in a moment. We played a minute since half time. It is still goalless, and it looks actually as if Amad Diallo is now the right wing back for Manchester United. Dalot has come over to the left hand side, with Mazraoui, De Ligt and Martinez at the heart of the defence in front of Bayindur, the goalkeeper, Eriksen and Mainoo in midfield, with Fernandes and Garnacho, who's in possession now. Garnacho, and he's on the edge of the penalty area, and he's hit the outside of the post. What an opportunity. Rasmus Højlund, the lone striker for United, playing in Garnacho on the edge of the area, and he was almost one-on-one with the goalkeeper. It was a mistake actually in the FCSB back line. He's beaten the goalkeeper, who came quickly off his line. Garnacho with a left-footed effort, but he's beaten the post as well. 0-0.
See, I love Garnacho, and I'll be gutted if he ends up leaving, but I think he has to put that in the back of the net. That's an example of when he gets into those areas, his final product has to be better. We know he's going to get an assist. He got the assist against Arsenal when he pulled the ball back, but I think in those moments, that's what separates the good to the great. You put it away in front of goal, have that composure.
Nonetheless, it's a big opportunity for Manchester United early in the second half. After an opening 45 minutes when Mainoo's missed a part, they really struggled to create too much at all. 48 on the clock, 0-0, as Garnacho comes forward down the left again. Good skills by Garnacho to keep the ball in play in a tight area, finds Bruno Fernandes. Now Eriksen, already more urgency about this Manchester United team early in the second half. Mazraoui switches the play to Amad. Amad running at Radovonic, and he's going to get the cross in here, right footed towards Højlund. Important intervention by Gazana, and Manchester United have what I think is the first corner of the evening.
And look at the difference. The space was there for Malacia. There was so much space in the first half, and now Amad's come on, showed great creativity, fearlessness, getting down that right hand side, and now he's got a corner. That's the type of positivity I'm talking about, Brookie.
0-0 in Romania. The corner for Manchester United to be taken by Amad Diallo, one of their two half-time replacements. Garnacho on as well. Amad with the in-swinging delivery. The goalkeeper's flapped at it, and it almost went straight in. It's behind for a goal kick. The referee has penalised Mainoo for a foul on the goalkeeper, but I think he's very fortunate there. Stefan Ternuvanu, not sure there was much of a foul by Mainoo. He's just flapped at the corner, and it could have gone anywhere.
That is not a foul, and it'll be interesting to see, because if that would have gone in the back of the net, it was a really good ball in from Amad Diallo, and it was poor from the keeper. He's got away with one there, because Kobbie Mainoo did absolutely nothing on the goalkeeper. He just flapped at it.
49 played, FCSB 0, Manchester United 0. Stefan Ternuvanu has got the second most clean sheets in this season's Europa League, but he didn't cover himself in glory there. Certainly much more purpose about Manchester United since the half-time pearls of wisdom from Ruben Amorim, and since those changes have been made, a reminder over on TalkSport, Tottenham 0, Elfsborg 0, enough for Tottenham at the moment to retain their place in the top 8, but again that could change if Bodo Glimt or Galatasaray were to take the lead in their respective matches. So anxiety there as the goalkeeper passes it straight to Garnacho almost, but it's won back by Popescu, the right side centre-back for FCSB. They've lost only 3 of their last 22 home group games in this competition. Currently second in the Romanian league. And they're coming forward down their left-hand side with Radu Vonic, and he's won a corner off Mazraoui. First corner the home side have been given this evening.
And as we know, Manchester United are really poor on corners, so it'll be interesting to see. They're obviously going to put it straight into that area.
It's going to be Florin Tanasi who comes over to take it. Manchester United with defending to be done here. 6 minutes gone in the second half. 0-0 on TalkSport 2. Alejandro Garnacho, fresh off the bench at half-time, has already hit the outside of the post. Here comes the corner. It's going to be a right-footed delivery and cleared away by Eriksson. Martinez unceremoniously just boots it clear for the white shirts. United attacking from right to left in this second half. Tanasi plays it down the line to his captain's suit. He's offside. It's a free kick for United in the right back position. It stays goalless.
I think if Garnacho puts that in the back of the net 1 minute into the second half, I think this game changes completely. I think if Manchester United were to get 1 goal, they'd get 2 or 3. We've seen Rangers beat this side 4-0, but Manchester United are just having a hard time breaking them down in the first half. I think Ahmad and Garnacho coming into this second half will really create a lot of space. But then at the same time, we just saw Manchester United nearly got countered down the other end.
You'd expect a more open game as maybe players get leg weary. Pressure, scoreboard pressure of maybe not being acutely aware of exactly what's happening elsewhere in the competition tonight. All the games kicking off at 8 o'clock. Still lots of jeopardy. Eriksson playing it forward towards Kobbie Mainoo. Amad Diallo trying to win it back after Gazana stepped in and cleared it away. It's up towards Boligia on halfway, but Mainoo wins it back inside the FCSB half. Garnacho was taking up the number 9 position as Højlund drops deep into midfield, and he tries to toe poke it out to the right. And Amad Diallo, I think he was maybe expecting a free kick there, Højlund, for a foul. Not given. The referee has tried to let the game flow where he can. Here's Martinez, the pint-sized South American, out to Garnacho, his fellow Argentine. Tries a couple of step overs. Garnacho draws the foul from Popescu, and a free kick for Manchester United. An opportunity to swing the ball into the penalty area. 0-0.
Good from Garnacho. This is a really fantastic position from the left-hand side. Put a lot of power on the ball. We can see in the first half, Popescu makes that foul. He probably should have scored in the first half when the opportunity came for him to him from about 7 yards out. But I like this from Garnacho. Players that are willing to get on the ball. They don't hide away. They're willing to, if they lose the ball, that's okay. They'll recover it back. I think Manchester United this second half are pressing a little bit higher and have a little bit more about them when it comes to the pace.
Sent the defenders forward from the back. De Ligt, always a danger in the air. Dalot lurking on the edge of the 18-yard box as well. And Sandro Martinez, who's got a couple of goals already this season at Anfield in the Premier League and at Fulham last weekend as well. Eriksson with a delivery, flicked on by Martinez. De Ligt was flying in there, couldn't make contact. It's behind for a goal kick.
To be fair, Martinez did really well there. You could see he didn't really want that. It was really under hit from Eriksson. This ball has to go in and around, you know, and there wasn't much power on it at all. And you can see De Ligt was very, very close. Good second man running there, just couldn't quite convert it and get on the end of it. 54
minutes played. FCSB 0, Manchester United 0. United unbeaten in their last 6 away games in the group stage of the Europa League since losing to Astana back in 2019. They won this competition under Jose Mourinho in 2017 to complete the full house of major European trophies, and were runners-up 4 years later after that never-ending penalty shootout against Unai Emery's Villarreal. They are the joint favourites, them and Tottenham, with the bookmakers to go all the way this year. Spurs 0-0 with Elfsborg over on TalkSport. United goalless here as well as Garnacho feels the force the challenge from Mihai Popescu. Just got a whack in the face there, and it's going to be another Manchester United free kick 5 yards inside the FCSB half. Taken short by Lisandro Martinez, and here's Matthijs de Ligt, the Netherlands international. Little flick from Ahmad to Kobbie Mainoo, and Ahmad with a chance to run down that right-hand side, stopped in his tracks by Radovonic, and now Martinez well forward from the back. That's something we've seen a lot in recent games. Martinez coming forward to make an extra midfielder where Manchester United are in possession. It's the reason he got that deflected winner at Craven Cottage at the weekend. Now Garnacho down the United left with little holes cut in the back of his socks to help with the circulation. We see that a lot these days. Here's Matthijs de Ligt on halfway. 0-0, we played 10 minutes in the second half, but Manchester United looking a lot more bright, a lot more capable of finding those pockets of space they really couldn't in the first half. Neat little flick there by Bruno Fernandes, and a good ball into Kobbie Mainoo, who rides one challenge. He was looking to open up the pitch there for Manchester United. Referee plays an advantage because they're still in possession, the white shirts, with Eriksen right in the centre of the FCSB half. Here's Mazraoui now to his right. Mazraoui into Fernandes, trying to help it round the corner to Mainoo. Wasn't a great pass from Fernandes, and Mainoo ends up giving it away, but it's run back by Mazraoui, snapping into a challenge on the edge of the area. Fernandes, left-footed cross, headed away. Will be kept alive by Garnacho, and Eriksen just shifts it to his left, and Martinez, now Højlund, turning inside the penalty. He got the shot away through the legs of Gazana, but easy save for Turnovanuu. 0-0. Better from Manchester United since half-time.
It is better, and I think that's the type of thing I'm looking for from Rasmus Højlund. It wasn't the greatest of strikes in the end, but he creates the opportunity, goes for goal. That's exactly what you want from your number 9. If you don't shoot, you don't score, as cliche as that sounds. But I think one thing I've seen in his first 10 minutes is that Bruno Fernandes is certainly higher up the pitch. He's on the edge of the 18-yard box trying to make things happen, and they certainly have that injection of pace. It's not rocket science. They brought on 2 players in Garnacho and Ahmad that are fearless when they're going 1v1, and they have pace about them. So I don't think it's not coincidence to me that Manchester United seem to have stepped it up a little bit.
Rangers got a second goal in that game at home to Ulianson Galois, Vaclav Cherny. So Rangers doing their job tonight, leading by 2-0. And Olympiacos have scored as well. Olympiacos leading in the Europa League, and that is a significant goal as far as the hosts tonight are concerned, because it means FCSB dropping out of the top 8 into 9th place in the table. Bodo Glimt also ahead, and that puts a bit of pressure on Tottenham, who only via goal difference now are keeping hold of a place in the top 8. Big goals going in all around the competition. Manchester United down in 5th now behind Frankfurt. But it means FCSB are going to need to score as it stands.
Yeah, and like I said, I wonder if that's going to be communicated to these players. I think it will take probably a mistake from Manchester United if FCSB have any chance of scoring, because they haven't really looked like scoring, apart from the Popescu situation in the first half where he should have put it in the back of the net. But I think they've had a lot of the possession, Manchester United, and I certainly expect them to turn it into a goal at some point soon.
Olympiacos 1, Karabag 0, and Nice 0, Bodo Glimt 1. That's the big goal. As far as FCSB are concerned, it also drops Rangers down to 10th place, despite the fact they are 2-0 up at this moment in time. Manchester United 0-0 here. If they were to win the game, then they would move above Frankfurt and Lyon into 3rd place as it stands. But a shot comes in from Daniel Baligia from a long way out. The home manager frustrated by that. It was dragged well wide of goal with 58 minutes. We await the first goal of the evening. Manchester United back in action at Crystal Palace on Sunday. You'll be kept up to date with what happens there during the excellent Sunday session. Sam Matterface and Perry Groves taking you around the grounds. Here is Bruno Fernandes on the edge of his own penalty area. Martinez now carries the ball towards halfway. Up to 397 Manchester United passes, just 149 for FCSB. That suggests control. It also suggests a lot of moving the ball sideways.
This has to be some sort of record for Manchester United, because I don't remember them having this much possession. To be fair, FCSB are not the most incredible opposition, but I think it's all about what you do with the ball and making the most of when you do have it, picking the right moments. And I think Manchester United started the game really well, similarly to this second half. They just need to try and convert this into an opportunity going towards goal. Isolate Ahmad, isolate Garnacho on the left-hand side, let them have the running of these fullbacks.
Here's Bruno Fernandes, 25 yards from goal. Shift the ball onto his right foot, brilliant effort off the crossbar. Would have been a worldie from Bruno Fernandes. The goalkeeper was beaten. Manchester United's captain denied by the frame of the goal.
What a strike from Bruno Fernandes. Picks his head up. He's so far out, it's almost 30 yards out.
Ericsson nods the ball down inside the box to Mainu. Dalot at the far post. Manchester United lead in Romania. Diogo Dalot has his first goal of the season, and seconds after Bruno Fernandes is denied. His countryman finds the back of the net from point-blank range, and that should be the goal that seals a place in the round of 16. It is FCSB 0, Manchester United 1. Dalot, the unlikely scorer.
Yeah, he won't score an easier goal in his career, but it's about being in the right place at the right time, tucks it away with the left foot. That was all about Bruno Fernandes' strike. Then Manchester United take a really quick set-piece throw-in from Ericsson, ends up finding it. Ahmad plays it to Ericsson, and then Dalot is just on the back post to tuck it away. And I said it was coming. You could see the momentum was with Manchester United. Dalot's in the right place at the right time and runs over. It was a fantastic ball in from Kobbie Mainoo. Brilliant ball. But I like the fact that Ahmad picked up the ball, took the throw, played it to Ericsson, and I've been quite complimentary of Ericsson in this game. I think he's played some really good, intricate passes, and I think Manchester United deserved that. I think they started the second half well, they're on the front foot, and fair play to Dalot being on their back post, but it was a great strike for Bruno Fernandes.
Dalot celebrates right in front of those travelling Manchester United supporters. They have been much improved, as Leanne Sanderson was telling you there, since half-time, and they've got the goal they deserve. And well, you wonder now, could they go on and win handsomely? It's not really been the way under Ruben Amorim. But Dalot breaking the deadlock, and all change again at the top of the table. Manchester United up to third, and FCSB find themselves in 10th. Good news for Rangers, who lead by 2-0. Spurs still in 7th at the moment, 0-0 against Elfsborg over on Talk Sport right now. Manchester United closing in potentially on 3 straight wins for the first time since they lifted the FA Cup back in May.
It's amazing what can happen. You look at the December that Manchester United had, the worst in history, 6 misses during that time. And like I said, Cookie, no one's getting carried away, but I think it's all about getting the results and seeing the type of style Ruben Amorim's trying to play.
Here's Ericsson, midway inside the FCSB half, flicked on by Mainoo, suddenly confidence oozing through these Manchester United players' veins. Garnacho has made an impact since coming on, more direct, asking more questions of the home defence, and he rolls it into Ericsson, back to Garnacho, brought down on the edge of the area. Referee plays on as Kobbie Mainoo skips over a couple of challenges. Ericsson to Fernandes, cleverly done by the captain, couldn't quite hold it up. Picked up again by Ericsson, 30 yards from goal. He's got Mazraoui to his right. Mazraoui forward to Amad Diallo. Diallo will come infield on his left foot and then into the path of Fernandes. It's almost nonchalant now from Manchester United the way they're passing this ball around. Martinez forward over halfway. They lead by 1-0 Amorim's side. Fernandes into Garnacho. Really important slide challenge from Gazana. He had to get that right, or A, Garnacho was in, or B, he would have brought him down for a penalty. Still 1-0 United. Ericsson forward to Garnacho. Can't win the header, and Cretu with a chance to clear. He's fouled by the goal scorer Dalot. It's a free kick for FCSB deep inside their own half of the field. You're listening to Europa League Live as Beligia comes forward, shoots from distance off the underside of the crossbar. The goalkeeper beaten, and then the header from Tanasi wide. Oh, Manchester United inches away from conceding. It was a power-packed effort from Beligia, and he can't quite believe it stayed out.
What a strike from Beligia, but the worst part about this is Tanasi has to put that in the back of the net. He has to put that in the back of the net. This must have been really close, Beligia's strike, because it looked like it bounced down, and it was fantastic. It was a great strike. We saw Beligia try this moment about 10 minutes ago, and it was well far out. This is a great strike.
I think
Fantastic.
Tanasi probably would have been offside.
It's a poor miss though, isn't it, from Tanasi?
Terrible miss with a header. What an opportunity to at least give the VAR officials a decision to make. It stays 1-0. And the goalkeeper Bayinda is relieved because he was nowhere near the initial effort. Just a warning sign for Manchester United that a 1-0 scoreline is a dangerous one. As Fernandes finds Garnacho, he's got Højlund to his right, screaming for the pass. Garnacho just held on to it a second too long. He tried to take on the extra defender,
forced him wide, and by the time he tried to cut the cross back, it was cleared. And maybe that's the decision making that Ruben Amorim needs the Argentine to improve. First time pass was on to Højlund, he was screaming for it.
It was, and by the time he kept hold of it, the moments are gone, and I think he got caught in two minds. He was going to take it on himself and strike it, then he got caught in two minds, and Højlund had already made his run. But I want to give Alejandro Garnacho a lot of praise, because I think you look at one player like Marcus Rashford, him and Marcus Rashford will question their attitude, and they weren't applying themselves. Alejandro Garnacho, I'm sure it wasn't easy for him, but he's gone away and he's come back almost better in a weird way, mentally. You can see that the fans are still singing his name, and that's all you want, a reaction from the player. And I think Manchester United need these players like Garnacho and Ahmad in order to be successful.
Fernandes on to Martinez. Well forward, Martinez. Fires goalwards, blocked on the edge of the area, kept alive by Garnacho. He's into the box. He's driven the cross along the 6-yard line, maybe just too much power on it, with Højlund and Mainu lurking. And in the end, it goes out of play tamely for a throw on the opposite side of the field.
What a ball that is. I used to hate it when wingers used to just play the ball in, and everyone would say, why is the forward not on the end of it? In those moments, can you imagine if Ruben Nistelrooy was playing for Manchester United? He'd have been on the front post tapping it in, or a Berbatov. It was a great ball in. Absolutely brilliant ball.
And just watching a replay of the effort at the other end, Baligia denied by the crossbar. It was one of those incidents where it could easily have hit the bar, hit the diving Bayern, the goalkeeper, and bounced in as an own goal. Manchester United fortuitous, they lead 1-0, and you are listening to FCSB against Manchester United on TalkSport 2, brought to you by TNT Sports, the home of European football. We're going to see another change here. Baluta is coming on for FCSB, and there's a change down the right hand side. Valentin Cretu is so fresh legs, and actually I think that's a reflection of the fact that Cretu has had a lot more defending to do in the second half since the changes that Ruben Amorim made than he did in the first period.
Yeah, I think Cretu's had a decent game, to be fair. In the first half he was getting into those areas, he was getting forward, and you're right, Crookie, I think with Ahmad and Garnacho coming into this game, and it's pretty obvious to me that Manchester United need at least Ahmad or Garnacho on the pitch. One of them has to be on to inject that type of speed of play and that directness.
Olympiacos have doubled their lead against Karabakh. They lead by 2-0. They are strengthening their grip on those top 8 places. That's more bad news for FCSB. Still 0-0 between Tottenham and Elfsborg, as Ajax also go 2-0 up against Galatasaray. And Anderlecht 4-1 down at home to Hoffenheim. That's significant for Spurs, because if Anderlecht were to win that game and they don't beat Elfsborg, they too could drop out of the top 8. As it stands, both United and Spurs going straight into the round of 16. United 1-0 up here with 68 minutes played. Diogo Dalot, the goal, tapping in at the far post after a really good Manchester United move. We've also seen Bruno Fernandes hit the crossbar in the second half. Much more energy after a lacklustre first half from United in this second period so far.
I think we'll also probably see Lenny Yoro come into this game as well. We know Ruben Amorim likes to tinker with that back line area. I expect him to come into this game. It's weird because most coaches don't ever make changes in the back line unless there's an injury, but I think in the system that Ruben Amorim plays, he likes to make those changes.
Garnacho has been excellent since coming on. Holds the ball up for Fernandes. Dalot, the goal scorer, forward, but his ball towards Mainu is intercepted. He's running back though, Dalot, and then Højlund into Mainu. Here's Garnacho inside the area again. Cuts it back for Mainu! It's 2-0 to Manchester United. And after Dalot scored his first goal of the season to break the deadlock, Mainu scores his first goal since the FA Cup final to send Manchester United into the last 16. With 22 minutes to play, it is FCSB 0, Manchester United 2.
Brilliant play from Garnacho down this left-hand side, and he's so good at pulling the ball back. Kobbie Mainoo had a similar one in the first half, a little bit further out where he's quite erratic, hits it over the bar. Really good play again from Dalot as well to win the ball back. Kobbie Mainoo actually starts to play, plays it out to Garnacho, and it's a lovely composed finish. But this is all about Garnacho. Since he's come into this game, we talk a lot about Ahmad and the impact he's made on this team, but I think Garnacho, like I said, Crookie, pre-game, I'll be gutted if Manchester United lose him in this transfer window, because I still think there's a player in there. He's nowhere near his best yet, but I think he loves playing for Manchester United, and you can see he comes in and he makes an impact, and that's exactly what you want your substitutes to do. And I think Kobbie Mainoo, I'm delighted that he's got on the score sheet as well, because under Ruben Amorim he hasn't really had much playtime.
Little fist bump of celebration for Lisandro Martinez as Kobbie Mainoo jumps on the back of Garnacho. And that's what Manchester United fans want to see. Two of their homegrown heroes, two of their academy products linking up to surely seal a valuable victory in Romania. All the talk of United due to PSR restrictions maybe having to cash in on one or both of those. And those travelling Manchester United fans making their feelings abundantly clear. They want them to stay. As Leanne was saying, Garnacho has made a real difference since coming on at half-time. Two more changes afoot for United. Leny Yoro, as predicted, and Casemiro, who hasn't played at all in 2025, are coming on.
You know what, Casemiro, fair play to Casemiro, because this is somebody that's won everything at the highest level, and you don't see him throwing his toys out the pram, and it must be quite hard for him.
It's a great ball by Martinez. Scoops it over the top of the FCSB backline. Dalot forced wide as he brought it under control, but still finds Fernandes on the edge of the area. Here's Mainoo now. Mainoo into the box. Just held off, and the ball is knocked behind by Popescu for another Manchester United corner. 71 gone. They lead by 2-0. And here come the changes. It is Leny Yoro for Lisandro Martinez. Yoro, who only made his Europa League debut in that win against Rangers last weekend, is going to get the final, last week I should say, is going to get the final quarter of this match. And Casemiro, much more experience when it comes to European football, is replacing Christian Eriksen.
Yeah, I was saying it must be quite difficult for Casemiro to see someone like Toby Collier getting the start in this game, a 21-year-old. But like I said, fair play to Casemiro, because he's nowhere near the levels that he used to be at, but he still is hungry, and I expect him to potentially go out on loan or have a permanent move during this window. I think Eriksen's had an excellent game. Martinez has been excellent as well. And Leny Yoro, I think, hasn't played anywhere near as much as people would have expected, because Harry Maguire and De Ligt have been so good.
Here comes the corner for Manchester United, looking for a third to absolutely seal the deal. Fernandes towards the far post. Højlund, he's not on his toes, is it? The ball scoots away and behind for a goal kick. It's been another frustrating evening so far for Rasmus Højlund, and we're just seeing on the monitor how animated Amorim was as a half-decent opportunity went begging.
That's the things you like to see, though, that passion and that hunger. I'm surprised Xerxes hasn't come into this game, but the thing about Ruben Amorim, what he's trying to do is he's trying to play Rasmus Højlund in these moments to try and get that goal. We know he scored 5 in this tournament already, and he's joint top goal scorer. But in this game tonight, there hasn't really been many opportunities for him to put the ball in the back of the net, but then he has to offer something else. And I think, you know, you can flip a coin between him and Josh Xerxes to a certain degree. And I know there's a lot of links to other players, but you know, I've been trying to get Evan Ferguson during this window, like a player that can do, when he first burst on the scene with Brighton, now he's being linked to Bayer Leverkusen. Why don't Manchester United try and get him?
Well, half the Premier League are trying to sign Evan Ferguson on loan, and the latest information I received yesterday is that Brighton probably are going to loan him out. I think you're right in terms of a hold-up player, the type of striker that Ruben Amorim is looking to build the playoff. Then maybe Ferguson would be the worst shout in the world. You are listening to the Europa League live on TalkSport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whatever the mission, home or away, Enterprise helps over 120,000 people every day. 2-0 to the good United. Second half goals from Dalot and from Mainoo. They are 17 minutes away from wrapping up a place in the round of 16, and no need to worry about that potential playoff in a couple of weeks' time. Manchester United up to third in the table, behind Athletic Bilbao and Lazio, the top two. There's been a big goal over on TalkSport. Tottenham nerves less frayed now. They lead Elfsborg by 1-0. Dane Scarlett, one of their youngsters, has come up with that goal. Tottenham up to 5th in the table. Rangers, who lead 2-0 against Union Saint-Galois in the Europa League, have just moved into the top 8. Literally, the table changed before my eyes because Bodo Glimt have conceded. So Rangers now have that final place straight into the round of 16. So a good night for all three British teams as it stands.
That's crazy. And imagine if Jack Butler did throw the ball in the back of the net last week, it would have been a completely different story.
Certainly would. Big goal that for Manchester United as they beat Rangers by 2-1. They are looking here to preserve one of only 2 unbeaten records in the Europa League this season, despite the fact they had a couple of disappointing performances early on in the competition, contributing to the departure of Erik ten Hag. Still yet to lose a game. With 15 minutes to go, barring a collapse here, that run is going to continue.
Yeah, and it looks good. I mean, in this competition, the Europa League, like I said, people expect the English teams to always run away with it. There's other teams, obviously the new format this year. Last year we saw teams drop out of the Champions League into the Europa League, and they provided that strong opposition. But I think Manchester United this year, there's no reason, depending on who they get in the round of 16, why they can't go on to win this. And I think the fact they're now going to go through without playing 2 extra games, Ruben Amorim speaks a lot about having the players longer for training to try and implement his style and what he wants to do.
Dalot, scorer of the all-important opening goal tonight, and the throw-in on halfway, gets it back from Mainu. Dalot raining down the left again. He swapped flanks at half-time, but he's seen a lot of the ball in the second half, arguably more than he did in the first. Garnacho, I think, also has proved his point since coming on, and there's a lot of Manchester United fans who won't want to be hearing about him leaving between now and 11 o'clock on Monday as we bring you our regular transfer updates across the TalkSport network. Still interest from the likes of Napoli and from Chelsea. Both those trails do seem to have gone a little bit cold in recent days. Here's Mazraoui. Thrust the ball forward to Amad Diallo. It's outplay for a Manchester United throw, 20 yards or so inside the FCSB half. They lead 2-0, Ruben Amorim side.
I'll be gutted, Crookie, if he ends up. If he was to go to Chelsea, if they're going to sell him, I don't want them to sell him anyway, but if they're going to, he can go abroad, to Napoli. But I think if he was in a Chelsea shirt, that would really, I'd find that quite hard.
Something I thought about, just playing the long ball forward there to Amad Diallo. He's found Bruno Fernandes, and play is going to be stopped because there is a pitch invader as FCSB prepare to make another couple of changes. Looks like he had an autograph taken in his hand there as he ran on from the stands. The home manager shakes his head in frustration because, of course, time is no longer on the Romanian side. These changes are about to be made with 14 minutes to play. Stefanescu, one of the players coming on, Marius Stefanescu, and Musi as well. Didn't see much of David Milescu in this second half, and he is one of the players who will be sacrificed.
I think, they've had a couple of opportunities. Popescu in the first half, Belegia as well with that one opportunity to hit right off the crossbar. But other than that, Manchester United have been in full control. We spoke about the passes they've made, and I think a lot of them were sideways. But what I will say is in the second half, the injection of pace from Amad and Garnacho. Amad hasn't actually had much of the ball, but what I mean by the injection of pace, he's stretching them, and they have to have one eye behind them looking at where Amad was. I think Malacia in the first half was getting the ball but wasn't really making the right opportunities.
Here's Bruno Fernandes, edge of the penalty area, forward to Rasmus Højlund. Amad on the overlap, but maybe Højlund could have gone for goal. He plays in Amad, the offside flag is up, and it will be a free kick. They've changed both wide forwards there in that last double substitution. Have FCSB, Stefanescu and Musi on, Milescu and Tanasi replaced. Tanasi missed that header after the effort from Belegia. The cannon off the underside of the crossbar. United were only a goal up there. Mainu winning it back on the edge of the area. Here's Højlund. Can he pull it back for Garnacho? He went for goal, Rasmus Højlund, from the tightest of angles, and he slams his right foot shot into the side netting.
The thing is, you want your number 9 in those moments to be selfish and take the opportunity on, but I think he had to have in his head already. It's a poor giveaway from the FCSB centre-back, definitely, and Højlund here has to just roll it across goal. Garnacho returned the favour of what Garnacho did to Kobbie Mainoo, but Højlund only had one thing in his mind here, and to be able to get this in from this angle, it's a poor effort in the end. He has to go across goal, and I think one thing Ruben Amorim needs to work on with these front players, one, their decision making to a certain degree, can't make the decision for them, but their telepathy between each other is really bad. It's like Højlund makes a run, then Garnacho runs around him, Amad then runs, they're offside, and their combinations between each other is just quite off.
Frankfurt have gone 2-0 down away from home in Rome against Roma. That moves Tottenham up to 4th in the table. Manchester United in 3rd, Rangers in 8th place. On goal difference, they're ahead of Bodo Glimt, FCSB and Anderlecht. Anderlecht 4-1 down, so they're not going to come back. FCSB won't come back here, you wouldn't have thought. Bodo Glimt 1-1 against Nice. If they were to score again, Rangers would drop out the automatic qualification place. That's how tight it is at the top end of the table. That's what UEFA wanted when they rebranded and extended the competition.
Yeah, I think these things take a little while, because sometimes in football we don't like change, do we? Like, it's almost like when you used to be able to like pass the ball back to the goalkeeper and they could pick it up. It took a little while for that to catch on. Same from the centre spot. Now you can go backwards, forwards. But I think, I'm not quite sure if I enjoy the new format. It might take a little bit of time. But I think if Manchester United were to go on to win this competition, I might have a different opinion. And the fact that teams are not, dropping down into it. But I think I'd still like the old format of the group stages. I do.
Interesting change this. Rasmus Højlund is replaced by Joshua Zirkzee for Manchester United. And I wonder, is that a reaction from Ruben Amorim to the poor decision making potentially when Højlund took on the shot? He should have cut it back for Garnacho.
I mean, he's given him long enough, 80 minutes, and I think as a centre forward, when I played in that position, there's games where you haven't performed to your levels, but I think this is Rasmus Højlund's level. I think this is the player that he is. I'm not saying that he can't improve, he's still young, but from what I'm seeing, I don't really see a player in there, Cookie.
He's scored 7 goals this season, 5 of them have come in Europe, but wasn't able to add to that tally tonight. Stefanescu off the bench fires straight into the arms of Oyindur. United now can come forward. It's 4 against 3. Garnacho picks up the ball, switches it from left to right, finds Ahmad on the edge of the area. Ahmad looking for Fernandes in the centre, almost came for Dalot as FCSB frantically get the ball clear. It's going to be another Manchester United corner. And that is the issue, as the home side look to try and get back in the game. Suddenly the space will appear, and Manchester United almost exploiting it and carving an opportunity for a third goal. As it stays 2-0 to the visitors.
Yeah, I like that play. It was lovely back heels from Dalot and Bruno Fernandes, and it switched out from Ahmad in those positions, and Garnacho did a really good job as well.
Bruno Fernandes to take it, left hand side. It's going to be a right-footed delivery. Zirkzee makes the dart to the near post. It is over the head of Lenny Yoro. Mazraoui puts it back into the penalty area. Cleared as far as Bruno Fernandes. Fernandes with the outside of the foot crosses into the box. Cleared to Ahmad this time, and he finds Mazraoui. It's been a really good second half performance from Manchester United after quite a laboured opening 45 minutes. The lick back towards Mazraoui on halfway. Here's Fernandes, the captain. Little slide rule pass into Kobbie Mainoo. Zirkzee, I'm sure he was trying there on the edge of the area. He's won a corner, more by that than judgment. As he tried to pass it back in the box, he put far too much weight on it, hits the defender and goes behind. For another United set piece, 2-0 they lead.
That was quite fortunate there, because you'd like to see Josh Zirkzee take the ball out of his feet and get a strike off. But I think Garnacho and Ahmad, what they've had the ability to do is everyone else has raised their game now, because these two players have come in. Bruno Fernandes looks so much more comfortable in this second half, getting on the ball into those areas. In the first half he didn't.
Amad Diallo, left footed delivery. Zirkzee with a header over the crossbar, 6 yards out. He was maybe facing away from the goal, but it was a good delivery. Just couldn't quite squeeze it the right side of the post.
Yeah, good ball in again from Ahmad. It was difficult for Zirkzee. He was already past the front post to be able to guide it back on the frame of the goal.
So United finishing 3rd, Tottenham finishing 4th, Rangers occupying the final automatic spot as FCSB come forward. That's a good save by Bayondur. It was Baluta, the substitute, snapshot, right-footed, made himself big. The United goalkeeper turns it behind for a corner.
Yeah, good save from Bayondur, but I'd expect the goalkeeper, the height of it from Baluta it was at the goalkeeper's height. It was a really good ball through, and it was a decent save in the end.
Again, a warning sign though that this game it's not quite won yet. It's the first shot on target, FCSB. It's taken into the 83rd minute. Of course, the effort against the underside of the bar doesn't count. That's a poor effort from Radovonic from 25 yards out, sweeps his left-footed shot wide, and United have 7 minutes plus stoppage time to navigate. You're listening to the Europa League live on TalkSport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Whenever the mission home or away, Enterprise helps over 120,000 people every day. United closing in on a 3rd straight victory, the opportunity to make it 4 in a row at home to Palace in the Premier League this upcoming weekend. Then the focus will turn to the FA Cup at home to Leicester. Gilt-edged opportunity against Ruben Nistelrooy's side to progress in that competition. So despite the fact it's been a really difficult campaign, still all to play for between now and May.
Definitely, and I think Ruben Van Nistelrooy playing against Manchester United will be quite emotional for him probably, because he did a fantastic job in the games that he was in charge. The 5 games he was in charge, Man United looked good, but I understand also why Manchester United didn't keep him on, because I think Ruben Amorim would have always had Van Nistelrooy almost in the shadows.
Great ball by Casemiro, switches the play out to the right, and Kobbie Mainoo's really taking the game by the scruff of the neck in this second half. Into Ahmad, back to Mainoo, trying to return it to Ahmad, but it would have been a lovely piece of interplay, but it's intercepted, and it stays 2-0. The goals for United from Dalot and Mainoo in this second half. Spurs 1-0 up over on TalkSport against Elfsborg. Rangers 2 goals to the good against Union Saint-Gilloise. All 3 will be going straight into the round of 16 as it stands elsewhere tonight in the Europa League. It's been a really professional job from Manchester United as Tottenham get a second actually over on TalkSport, and another of their youngsters, the JI, has sealed the win against Elfsborg. Some respite for Ange Postecoglou. Their season's still very much alive as well. United have the ball deep inside their own half with De Ligt, and they just slow the tempo down, and really just a case of managing the game now and exploiting any opportunities that come their way as FCSB look for a route back into proceedings. Fernandes can't hold the ball up inside the home half of the field. It's played forward to Moussi, looking for Baligia in the centre, but intercepted by De Ligt. They've only kept 1 clean sheet with 14 coming into this one. Manchester United, they're looking to make it 2 in 2 games, and signs defensively that Ruben Amorim's message is starting to be taken heed of.
Yeah, it would be interesting to see the team selection against Crystal Palace at the weekend, because I think the midfield, Kobbie Mainoo, I think has been excellent in this game, and Ugarte I expect to go back in there. I'd like to see Ugarte, Bruno and Kobbie playing in those positions. I think it could work in those areas, and we know Ruben Amorim hasn't really played Kobbie Mainoo a lot. When he has, he's come off the bench, but I think he's done himself a lot of justice in this game tonight, as has Garnacho.
We mentioned before the game it was a big night for Mainoo in particular, because he probably hasn't played to the levels that he would have wanted this season. He hasn't played as much football since Amorim came in as he would have wanted to, certainly. I think you're right. I think he's definitely made his case to get one of those starting bursts. Amad Diallo clearly will come back into the team, you would imagine. It's a nice selection dilemma for Amorim, having left out Ahmad, Garnacho, Ugarte and Maguire tonight, as well as Inala, the goalkeeper. Marcus Rashford not making a trip to Romania either, as his future remains very much in the balance ahead of deadline day on Monday. Here's Dalot, scorer of the opener for United, into the tall figure of Joshua Zirkzee. He can't hold the ball up though, and got the chance to clear it here, but it's given away inside their own half. FCSB, and then Casemiro swept off his feet by the challenge of Gazana. It's a yellow card. The first FCSB booking of the evening. Dara it was, in fact.
I'll tell you what, Casemiro took this like a boss, because this was a really, really crunching tackle. And fair play to Casemiro, because he just gets straight up. It's a foul all day long. He has every right to go for it, but Casemiro just kind of gets up and gets on with it.
Card then for Joriskin Dawa, Cameroonian. A free kick for United, which Bruno Fernandes stands over. 88 on the clock, 2-0. United lead here on TalkSport 2. Probably too far out for a shot, though. It's a very central position. Fernandes is just going to try and scoop this over the top of the home defence. There's a bit of an impromptu light show going on as Fernandes finds Casemiro. He flicks it goalwards. I'm not quite sure how that didn't go in. He just couldn't quite put enough power on it, Casemiro. It was a lovely free kick from Fernandes. Spotted the run, the Brazilian, and maybe had he played more football since the turn of the year, he might have been a bit sharper and able to get his studs through it, and it would have been 3-0 to United. As it is, Fernandes finds Garnacho. Left corner of the penalty area, only Zirkzee in the centre. Garnacho trying to shift the ball onto his right foot. Back heel to Bruno Fernandes, and his effort side-footed across the face of goal. Almost crept in at the far post. Fernandes frustrated as it stays 2-0.
We know Bruno loves a moan, and I love Bruno Fernandes, but he's blaming. I don't know what he's saying to Garnacho in that moment, because he has to put that in the back of the net.
I wonder if he's ticking off Joshua Zirkzee for not continuing his run.
Maybe that's who he was talking to, because Garnacho does so well. He picks up the ball on the left-hand side, and then Bruno Fernandes does a lovely overlap, some fantastic back heel. And then I have no idea what Bruno is moaning about there. He's just got to be fair, the goalkeeper saved it.
Comes off the keeper.
It does. It's a good save in the end.
Well, we didn't spot that, nor did the referee, because it should have been a corner. It went for a goal kick. He booted the advertising hoardings in frustration. Bruno Fernandes. We're into the last minute. It's not going to make a difference to the outcome because they lead 2-0. He's been in decent goal-scoring form, the captain, since the departure of Erik ten Hag, and he feels he should have added to his tally. His Europa League record, by the way, is sensational. 21 goals, 17 assists, so 38 goal involvements in total, only 2 shy of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's record of 40. He also made his 50th Europa League appearance against Rangers last week, Fernandes. Third corner of the game for FCSB. Any goal now surely would be no more than consolation, but it's not a goal, which by Baligia, and it's saved at the near post by Bayandiri. He hasn't had a lot to do tonight, the United goalkeeper, but what he has had to do, he's done well. Ball forward towards Garnacho, sweeper keeper, he was miles off his line. Turnovanu, and he comes out and gets there ahead of Garnacho. If he didn't, Garnacho would have had an open goal to aim at. Here's Kobbie Mainoo. Fernandes brought down the edge of the box, referee plays the advantage. Garnacho is back to goal, can't hold it up, and that will be a free kick right on the edge of the area as we move into 4 added minutes. It's FCSB 0, Manchester United 2, and now Hassan is the latest home player to get a yellow card.
You can see what Ahmad was doing there. It looked like a hit and hope ball, but he knew exactly what he was doing. And I'm laughing because Garnacho bottled that one from the keeper. I think if he'd have got there first, little touch around him, and he would have been in on goal, but I think you could see him coming out the corner of his eye. Looks like Manchester United have been given a free kick on the edge of the box. Don't know where that's come from.
Yeah, I think Garnacho was brought down on the edge of the area, and the yellow card is for Al Hassan for the earlier foul on Bruno Fernandes. It's still FCSB 0, Manchester United 2 here. Tottenham 2-0 up against Elfsborg over on TalkSport. Rangers 2-1 now against Union Saint-Gilloise. They're into stoppage time. If they were to concede again, Rangers, they would drop out of the top 8. Manchester United are going to finish 3rd, Tottenham 4th. All 3 British teams through to the round of 16, barring any late drama. And if Bodo Glimt were to get a late winner in Nice, that would also knock Rangers out of the top 8. So it looks like Philippe Clement's side facing the most jeopardy into stoppage time. No jeopardy for United here, and an opportunity for Fernandes or Ahmad from the free kick. Fernandes into the wall, trying to curl it right-footed, blocked on the edge of the area. Fernandes heads the ball, keeps it in play. Ahmad can't do likewise. It's a goal kick for FCSB. That corner has been belatedly indicated by the assist on that far side. This is in a nick off one of the home defenders.
Yeah, I'm glad that Bruno Fernandes took the responsibility of that free kick, because we saw in the first half he let Martinez take it and went sailing over. It wasn't the greatest of free kicks. I actually thought that was a foul on Bruno Fernandes as well, but now Manchester United have got the corner.
Fernandes will take it from the right-hand side. They lead by 2 goals to 0 in Romania. This might be the last opportunity to put the icing on the cake by way of a third. Fernandes towards Casemiro, so dangerous in the air, and that's a chance. 6 yards out, heads it over.
To be fair to Casemiro, he does quite well to get on the end of that, because it was a bit of an under-hit corner and he was past the front. You can see he was quite frustrated because he connected with it quite well. But I like the fact that Manchester United are pushing on, not trying to keep the ball in the corner. I know they're 2-0 up with a minute and a half to go, but they're still trying to push on.
You're listening to the Europa League live on TalkSport 2 with Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Enterprise has vans of all shapes and sizes. You've got a plan, we've got a van. Ruben Amorim's plan has worked to perfection tonight. Manchester United slow to get going in the first half, despite dominating possession. Both changes he made at the interval, Garnacho and Ahmad off the bench, made a real difference to the attack. And second half goals from Dalot and from Kobbie Mainoo, his first since scoring the winner at Wembley against Manchester City in the FA Cup final in May, cementing United's place in the round of 16. No need for that 2-legged playoff tie as Lenny Yoro wins the ball back down by his own corner flag. We've got seconds remaining now. Here's Bruno Fernandes, forward to Joshua Zirkzee, room to turn, the big Dutchman, and then Kobbie Mainoo into Fernandes, and they can get one more chance here to come forward. United. Ahmad, 4 yards outside the box, into Xerxes, gives it back to Ahmad. Great move this from United. Ahmad trying to cut the cross back, it's cleared, and then Bruno Fernandes theatrically hurls himself to the ground. He's trying to claim an elbow inside the area. There was nothing of the sort. The referee uninterested, and Fernandes stays down as Manchester United continue to attack with Mainu into Alejandro Garnacho. A yard or so inside the penalty area, shoots right-footed, deflected behind for a corner. I think there'll just be enough time to take it, Leanne Sanderson.
Great play again from Kobbie Mainoo on the edge of the box. It was nice from Josh Xerxes as well. He's so unselfish in those areas. I think the number 9, you'd like them to just kind of take responsibility on to get a shot off, but it was really good play from Xerxes and Ahmad in those areas. You see Bruno Fernandes does go down very theatrically, and it's never a penalty.
Last action of the game, FCSB 0, Manchester United 2. Amad Diallo with a corner, hands on hips from the left-hand side, so it's going to be an outswinging delivery by the Ivorian. Not a bad one, and De Ligt meets it and heads it wide. They've had chances to win more handsomely.
Yeah, De Ligt should do better there. It's a free header, he does well. Really good ball in from Ahmad, and I think De Ligt has to do better there.
Now played 5 added minutes at the end of the 90. Referee is not ready to call time just yet. Before this goal kick is launched forward by FCSB. But there is the full-time whistle. Job done for Manchester United. They've come to the home of Dracula, but there was no horror show. Second half goals from Dalot and from Mainu, his first in scoring at Wembley against Manchester City in May, have given United the victory they needed to guarantee a place in the round of 16. There will be no two-legged playoff for Ruben Amorim to navigate, and after a laboured first half, I think he'll be really happy, the United manager, with what he saw after making those changes. Garnacho and Ahmad both off the bench, both made an impact in the second 45, and for the first time this season, Manchester United have 3 successive victories. They won away from home by 2 goals to 0 to preserve their unbeaten European record. And what we've seen tonight, Leanne, have got to be taken seriously once the knockout stages begin.
I think so, and you look at it based upon the fact that there's been different team players. You see another fan running on the pitch there trying to get to Casemiro. But I think it was a really professional performance for Manchester United. I think overall, these moments are difficult, these teams are difficult to break down at times, and I think the difference was the substitutions at half-time. You asked me quickly at half-time if I thought he was going to make them. I said he's not shy of making substitutions, but I didn't expect them to be at half-time. He did what was actually asked, Ruben Amorim, and then, you know, Manchester United got the result.
Tottenham have won by 3 goals to 0. Mikey Moore deep in stoppage time, setting the seal on a Tottenham victory in that game, so they will be joining Manchester United in the last 16, and they are awaiting the full-time whistle at Ibrox. It's Rangers 2, Union Saint-Galois 1. It's finished in the key game for Rangers between Nice and Bodo Glimt, a 1-1 draw there, so unless they consider an equaliser, Rangers are through as well. Time now to pick our man of the match with Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Man of the match on TalkSport 2 with Enterprise.
Job done for United, Leanne Sanderson. Which of their players stood out for you?
Yeah, it's a difficult one because I could give it to Alejandro Garnacho. I thought he was the impact player, but I think overall Kobbie Mainoo, over the 90 minutes, I thought he was excellent. Got the goal that he deserved as well, so I'm going to go with Kobbie Mainoo.
There you go, Kobbie Mainoo is our man of the match, and that's all thanks to Enterprise Rent-A-Car.
Man of the match on TalkSport 2 with Enterprise.
Over in Glasgow, Rangers have beaten Union Saint-Galois by 2 goals to 1, so they seal the final automatic spot in the round of 16. They finish 8th in the league phase, Tottenham 4th after that 3-0 win against Elfsborg, live on TalkSport, and Manchester United 3rd behind Athletic Bilbao and Lazio, who top the table. Manchester United 2-0 winners away from home against FCSB. My thanks to Leanne Sanderson for her company this evening. Up next here on TalkSport 2, the live sport continues as we head to California for the PGA AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am.
TalkSport.